This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Lawmakers scrutinizing a bill that would reinstate board oversight over how public tourism funds are spent on trips off island. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with what GVB's board and management had to say.
After striking a deal to convert GHC property into a temporary home for the Simon Sanchez Sharks late last year, officials are growing impatient with GDOE's progress. More coming up tonight.
They're often behind the scenes in hospitals, courtrooms, and crisis moments. But this month, Guam social workers step into the spotlight as they gather to reflect on healing, justice, and culturally grounded care. I'm Nevaeh Anderson with the details coming up.
Hafade and Biba Mestumoro, everybody. We are KUAM, and we are coming to you from our studios in Harmon to Guamanians all over the world. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Jason Salas. These are tonight's top stories. Well, a bill to reinstate mandated board approval for the Guam Visitors Bureau's expenses for trips off island was put under the microscope. GVB's board chairman says it's not to micromanage management, while management warns the proposal may result in significant economic implications for the island. Tonight's top report is with Mitsuki Hirayama.
Senators scrutinizing a proposal to reinstate GVB board approval for travel-related expenses on Wednesday.
Again, have you seen any abuse at GVB right now when it comes to travel? I don't think so.
The discussion is over Tourism Oversight Chair Senator Jesse Lujan's Bill 279, which would require all official travel by GVB to be reviewed and approved by the board before any public funds are spent. It's part of scrutiny over high-cost trips like over $50,000 spent on 2 trips last October, called into question by board members, according to Lujan. But when asked this question repeatedly, GVB board chairman George Chu unable to give a clear answer.
Have you seen any misspending of GVB travel since you've been there? Yes or no?
We don't get that kind of detailed information as a board.
I don't get it because I've asked you, or they're abusing the situation. I've asked if you guys asked to see an itemized, travel. You guys don't even want to see that. So what is the issue? Sounds to me like it just wants power.
Chu argues reinstating authority to the board is, quote, logical, adding it is not a power trip.
The board has no desire to micromanage the management and staff of GVB on travel-related issues. Board members do not get paid. They are volunteering their time. So all they want to do really is to try to get tourism back on track so that our economy can benefit and the local people who are in the tourism business can continue to find a way to survive.
Meanwhile, GVB's new Vice President, Frank Arreola, reading testimony from President and CEO Regine Biscoli, says board members have not formally debated on the proposal in a public meeting. Although he says GVB does not have a position on the bill, their primary concern is that the Bureau would be unable to respond to time-sensitive opportunities quickly.
For example, if GVB were to receive notice today that representatives from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Philippine government wish to meet in Manila on Thursday to discuss a pilot expansion of the Philippine visa waiver program for Guam, the Bureau would likely be unable to accommodate that request under the proposed structure.
GVB warned missed opportunities like this could result in, quote, significant economic implications for Guam. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Elsewhere, our island communities' small businesses could soon see improved access to financing under new legislation introduced in Congress. Delegate James Moylan alongside NMI Congresswoman Kimberlyn King-Hines have introduced the Territorial SBA Loan Guarantee Adjustment Act of 2026. Now, this bill would increase the federal guarantee on certain Small Business Administration loans for businesses in United States territories to 90%. Currently, SBA typically guarantees between 75 and 80% of a loan. Supporters say raising that coverage would reduce the financial risk for lenders and encourage banks to approve more loans for territorial businesses, with lawmakers noting that small businesses locally often face greater challenges securing financing due to geographic isolation, higher costs for shipping, and a smaller local market base. If indeed passed, the increased guarantee would apply to most SBA 7A loan programs, including standard and small loans, along with certain working capital lines of credit. Congressman Moylan says strengthening these guarantees could help level the playing field for the island's small businesses, adding that when local businesses gain better access to capital, it can lead to more companies opening, existing businesses expanding, and stronger job opportunities for residents. Well, let's go to education headlines now, as patience is wearing thin among Guam Housing Corporation board directors as the jump to get a temporary Simon Sanchez High School campus underway is seemingly slow moving. Here's more from Friday's GHC Board of Directors meeting.
Frustration over the delay for a home for the Simon Sanchez community is mounting on different sides. As the Sharks grow weary over the delay for a permanent home, Guam Housing Corporation officials are becoming equally frustrated over the slow-moving progress for a temporary campus at its Guma as Atas apartment complex. GHC striking a deal with the Guam Department of Education for the project late last year.
If they're sitting on it, let's move forward, forget them. Has that been kind of relayed to them? Because we've been sitting on those for over a year.
GHC Board of Directors Chair Francis Floric bluntly making that statement during a meeting Friday. Though GHC Acting President Angela Camacho says there is upcoming progress, with construction expected to begin on the 20 temporary classrooms on site by mid-March, with the bid for GHC units also slated to get underway within the same time frame. Camacho also noting a bump in the road as units lay dormant.
We did have an issue with the buildings being empty and folks going in, causing damage and speeding things.
Meantime, other board members detailing an estimate of how much the unoccupied GDOE units may be contributing to GHC's total monthly rental losses from vacancies.
We got to take some action. 41,800 a month in a year, we're losing $500,000.
As KUAM previously reported, the Department of Public Works has determined to move forward with construction for the new Simon Sanchez High School, despite an ongoing procurement protest by General Pacific Services. The Office of Public Accountability's decision on the matter is pending. Meantime, a legislative oversight hearing is slated for March 9th, where GDOE officials are expected to give updates on the Simon Sanchez rebuild and double session schedule.
That's our Destiny Cruz Langus, of course, reporting there. Well, it is now March on the calendar. March is many things, and as Guam marks Social Work Month, local practitioners are coming together to confront our island's toughest challenges and explore how culture and resilience guide their work. Nevaeh Anderson has our next report.
March is Social Work Month. First celebrated in 1963, it aims to build communal support for a profession that often works out of the spotlight, but at the heart of our community. The National Association of Social Workers Guam chapter says it's a moment to recognize the people who walk with families through some of their most difficult moments. President of the chapter, Lavelle Baza.
It's not just about celebrating the profession, but it's also recognizing the people that that our community put together.
That recognition continues next week as NASW Guam hosts its annual conference from March 12th to the 13th. Baza describes it as more than a professional gathering, but a place where those who carry so much for others can pause, share, and support one another.
It's also where we talk about what really means to be a social worker in our community and the pressures we face, and that involves like our economic, like what you mentioned, social challenges, right? Historically, what we continue to ground ourselves with is our culture, community knowledge, and resilience.
This year's theme, Resisting the Rip Current, culturally grounded social work for healing, justice, and wellness in the Pacific, speaks directly to those pressures. And with March also marking Mes Chamorro, Baza says the timing is especially meaningful.
On Guam, the work is deeply connected to our culture. our values like Inafamalik, caring for one another. We celebrate that so much, and it's aligned with our social work values as well.
The rip current in the theme represents the powerful forces that families continue to navigate: colonization, militarization, economic hardship, substance abuse, family violence, and intergenerational trauma.
Bearing witness to these realities, we honor the strength and wisdom of the social workers that continue to support our communities, right?
The conference will also feature keynote speakers, including Dr. Lisa Linda Natividad, Professor of Social Work and Chamorro Studies at the University of Guam, and Judge Maria Senzon, who will explore how culturally responsive trauma-informed practices can shape both healing and justice in our island's courts and communities. More than 220 participants have registered, including UOG Bachelor of Social Work students who are set to lead a breakout session on student advocacy and policy in action. And at its core, Baza says social work is about something simple but powerful.
Our work is really about showing up for people, and whether it's helping someone navigate a crisis, advocating for resources, or simply just listening to them when someone feels unheard. Social workers are there. We are there because we believe that our community deserves care. We believe that people deserve compassion and justice.
The NASW Guam chapter also invites the community to take part in its social work beach walk on March 6th at Matapang Beach at 6 p.m. A reminder that resisting the rip current is not about standing alone, but moving forward together. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
We got to take a quick commercial break, everybody, but please stay tuned. The live stream continues. You're watching KUAM.
It's a new year, Guam, so let's start with the reset at Kmart. Make your move and start strong. Gear up with fitness equipment and fresh workout apparel. Fuel with wellness essentials, sugar-free options, protein, vitamins, and more. Organize and clear the clutter with easy storage solutions and cleaning essentials. And refresh your living space with new furniture and decor for your home. New year, new me. Your reset starts at Kmart Guam.
Now it pays to spread the Better Together experience. With our brand new referral program, you can earn up to $150 in account credits for every referral you bring in. That's right, family, neighbors, friends, even your coworkers. Just pass them your account name and account number. When they sign up for Docomo Pacific service and drop your info, cha-ching! Credit applied. So spread the word and start stacking those savings. Additional conditions may apply. Docomo Pacific, we're better together.
Welcome to the world, Mila. A world where you'll feel loved and cared for, not just by your family, but by your extended family, your community. That's the power of relationships. At Bank of Hawaii, we've believed in that power to build better lives for our customers and communities for over 125 years. So when you need people who will look out for you, look to us. Because with the right relationship,
anything's possible.
Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Welcome back to Primetime, everybody. You're watching KUAM. Once again, I'm Jason Salas. Let's get to national news now, geopolitical, in fact, as to President Trump's decision to strike. He tonight says he was not influenced by Israel's move to hit Iran, telling reporters that he believed Iran was planning to attack first.
President Trump tonight defending his decision to launch preemptive strikes on Iran.
Based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first, and I didn't want that to happen.
And dismissing criticism Israel's own plans to attack may have forced his hand.
If anything, I might have forced Israel's hand. But Israel was ready and we were ready, and we've had a very, very powerful impact.
Administration officials say the Iranians were hiding components of their nuclear program, including lying about the purpose of a research reactor in Tehran, while stockpiling ballistic missiles to ward off any attack. Secretary Rubio briefing lawmakers tonight.
Iran is run by lunatics, religious fanatic lunatics. They have an ambition to have nuclear weapons. They intend to develop those nuclear weapons behind a program of missiles and drones and terrorism. The president said this is the weakest they've ever been. If we don't hit them now, a year from now, or a year and a half from now, no one will be able to touch them.
But Democrats tonight unconvinced.
There is no evidence that has been presented to us that the United States was under threat of imminent attack from Iran.
All as there are new questions about the U.S. plan for what comes next.
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead.
President Trump was pressed about a worst-case scenario.
I guess the worst case would be we do this and then somebody takes over who's as bad as the previous person, right? That could happen. We don't want that to happen.
Back to headlines on our shores now. A Superior Court jury has found David Unkanko guilty of multiple felony charges tied to a theft of more than $24,000 worth of jewelry 2 years ago. Jurors returned their verdict Friday in the trial of Unkanko and co-defendant Francis Janet Sahagan Cruz, stemming from thefts reported at a pawn shop in Dedido and Vince Jewelers in East Agana between late March and early April of 2024. Charging documents state that a $334 gold coin was taken from the pawn shop, while approximately $24,000 in jewelry was reportedly stolen from the jewelry store. Unkanko was convicted on 4 counts of retail theft as a second-degree felony, attempted theft by receiving as a third-degree felony, fraudulent use of a license plate as a third-degree felony, witness bribery as a third-degree felony, and tampering with a witness as a misdemeanor. He was found not guilty of drug possession, as well as 1 count of attempted theft by receiving. Now, Cruz, who faced a single charge of witness bribery, was found not guilty after about a day and a half of jury deliberations. Court records show Unkanko had been arrested more than a dozen times since 1990 and was previously convicted on federal charges related to a pair of armed robberies in 2012. He served about 8 years in prison for that. Well, in more positive news tonight, the Guam Department of Agriculture's Division of Animal Health has reached a major milestone, completing its 10,000th spay and neuter surgery through its partnership with the Spay and Neuter Island Clinic, otherwise known as SNP. The latest patient marking the achievement is a former stray named Sono, once an underweight puppy found struggling to survive at the Sono Feliz golf course down in Talafofo. Staff there took her in, helped her recover, and eventually arranged for her to receive a microchip, vaccinations, and surgery through the SNP program. Officials say the milestone reflects years of collaboration aimed at addressing Guam's pet overpopulation problem. Acting Governor Joshua Tenorio called the 10,000th surgery a major achievement in our island's commitment to animal health and public welfare, saying strategic partnerships like SNP produce sustainable, long-term solutions. Well, let's now talk about some community health services now, as the Rainbows for All Children program has a 3.5-mile run walk. That's an event coming up to help support the organization that provides free peer support groups in school for kids 3 to 18 years of age to navigate grief and trauma from loss. Here's a conversation I had with some of the participants as well as the planners with the details about this event. Okay, half a day everybody. I have here my friends from Agana Heights Elementary School. That's one of the schools that the Rainbows for All Children program is. We have on the left Mr. Bastian and on the right Miss Aurora. Half a day, you guys?
Hi.
Okay, how do you guys like Agana Heights Elementary? I like that school.
I love it.
Yeah, the playground is really, really cool. Yeah. But also because you guys have the Rainbows for All Children program at your school, it makes it extra special, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how long have you guys been involved in the program, Aurora?
Ever since I was 4th grade.
Okay, and Bastian, what about Rainbows for All Children do you like so much?
One thing I like about Rainbows is that I get to share my feelings to someone I trust.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Aurora?
I get to talk to some people about like what's happening in my life.
All right, and we have more friends from the Rainbows for All Children, also from Agana Heights Elementary School. We have Miss Alexia. Half a day.
Half a day.
Okay, so what do you enjoy so much about the Rainbows program in your school?
I like how it's a safe space and it's all confidential.
Okay.
And we get to share like how we feel.
Okay, and some people say, is Rainbows like an everyday program? Is it after school? Like, how often do you have to participate?
It's every other Wednesday.
Okay, and it is very, very positive, and you said like very, very safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, excellent. Okay, so we also have Jennifer and Marie. So let's talk about the run. This is an annual event and everything. And Jennifer, how can people register?
People can register over at St. Anthony Catholic School, and I believe it's also at Goodies, if I'm not mistaken.
It's going to be our 39th year, and working hard. It's a 3.5 mile. It's easy. It's going to be a GPO. And this fundraising is the one that helps Rainbows keep on working for the kids.
Okay, and then Marie, how many schools throughout Guam is Rainbows in right now?
Right now, there's 5. There are 5 going on 6.
Okay. Is that only public schools at the moment, or?
No. There's a Catholic school, and then the rest are the public school.
Speaking of volunteerism, a lot of kids at the high school level want service learning, and they need to fulfill that obligation. So if kids can come out and help put on this amazing race, can they do so?
Of course, yes. We encourage all ages, all walks of life. No worries. We're there to help, and we're here to serve. So thank you, and thank you for listening, and we really appreciate it. And yes, it is from our hearts, and we really do care for the children of Guam.
Okay, everybody, look right here. Thank you so much. Rainbows.
Thank you.
Yeah. And of course, as always, we highly encourage you to register for the Rainbows Run, either the 2K or the 5K. And please, again, as I said in that piece, if you are a student at the high school level and you need service learning, public, private, DODEA, the Rainbows for All Children program is more than happy to accommodate you. It's a really, really good program. We hope to see you there. All right. From the local entertainment beat tonight, organizers of the Hafaloha concert series have announced that part 5 of the series featuring J-Boog has been rescheduled. The concert originally was set for Friday, March the 6th. Is now going to take place on Friday, June the 5th. Organizers tell us the decision was made due to an unpredictable weather forecast this week and out of an abundance of caution to ensure the safety of attendees, performers, and staff, while also delivering the best possible concert experience for fans. All tickets purchased through guamtime.net will be automatically honored for the new date. Sponsor-issued and promotional giveaway tickets will also be valid for the rescheduled conference. So if you won them in a radio contest or something, don't worry, they'll still work. Organizers thank fans for their understanding and continued support, saying they look forward to welcoming everybody back on June 5th once again for a night of music and good vibes, and J-Boog is really excited to come out and play. Additional updates will be shared through the official Hafaloha Concert Series social media channels, and for ticket inquiries, you can visit guamtime.net.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Guam has some of the most beautiful sunsets in the entire world, and here's a gorgeous one over on Tumon Bay.
The new Big Arch sauce is so delicious. You'll wonder if they named the sauce after the burger or the burger after the sauce. The Big Arch, the most McDonald's burger yet. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! as he kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
At GTA, everyone gets our best deals.
So my Niao's Primos Paris is your mom's second cousin's cousin through marriage.
Wow, we're basically like family.
So can I get the deal?
Of course, everyone gets our best deals.
My nana said to tell you she went to church with your auntie.
You look just like my friend's nephew's babysitter. Small island, right? Everyone gets $400 off when you sign up for a Live Unlimited plan.
Bring it in, cuz.
Even if we're not related.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it. Couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, and Americans saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas. Happy Charter Day, University of Guam. Hey, I always talk about my alma mater, right? Everybody knows I went to Sanchez at this point, right? But I also went to UOG, and we're super, super proud of all the accomplishments UOG has made. We're going to have a really good story for that for you. But first of all, we want you to get involved, speaking of community service and doing amazing things for our island. There is an evening with Jackson Family Wines, a very, very special evening with amazing Jackson wines. It's going to be a Capital Kitchen. You are going to have the most amazing food paired with these incredible libations. And of course, it benefits the Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation, which helps local families that are going through their cancer journey. So please make sure, get your tickets, be there, and thank you for your support. All right, Lupus Support Session. Speaking of community support, it's what we do on the island, not just during Mes Tomorrow, but all year round. We are getting involved because on the 5th, that's this Thursday, over in Igani Heights, the Senior Center at sundown is going to have a support session. If you have lupus, if you are part of the lupus cycle of care, if you are a caregiver, please make sure to attend that. Really, really good stuff being put on there. Then, yeah, Igani Heights, that's my home too. All right, and then the Social Work Beach Walk is happening, the National Association of Social Workers on Guam. Hey, there's a chapter over at UOG, and they do good work, right? It's going to be on Friday. Make sure to check it out because they begin at 5:45 at Matapang Beach. Community, wellness, and solidarity. I love it. Hey, my first cousin, Tressa, teaches at UOG, and she teaches social work. My late Uncle Carl, right? My Nina's husband taught social work and everything. A very, very important part of our island community because we have to take care of each other. That's what we do. And we also take care of our birthday celebrants, which is what we are doing right now. All right, everybody, Biba Mes Tomorrow, Biba Hernandez family, because 2 members of the Hernandez family have birthdays today, and we are celebrating them with all of our island love. So happy birthday to Chanel Hernandez, to our forever baby girl. Your shout out says, the youngest of the pack and the fiercest at heart. Chanel, your family says, we love you. And Riley Santos Hernandez, you're the tiniest tornado of fun, biggest giggler, and kindest hug giver. Happy birthday, little one, and we love you as well. So Chanel and Riley, we hope you both have amazing days today, and Viva Hernandez family. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com. We say it all the time, and we truly, truly mean it, everybody. Biba Mes Tomorrow here on Guam. Thank you so much for watching KUAM. We'll see you at UOG tomorrow. The Charter Day festivities start at the Minilao campus at 9 in the morning. We'll have a real special story on that for you. It's going to be a really, really good time. Until then, please be excellent to each other. Please be safe. I'm Jason Salas, and from everybody at KUAM, thanks so much. See you tomorrow. Hafide Guam, I'm Jason Salas, and I'm here downtown at the Laddie of Freedom, where my good friend Melvin Wonpat Borja has served as executive director for the past few years of the Commission on Decolonization, seeking the choice for Guamanians to have self-governance. But prior to that, he worked about 5 miles down the road that way, teaching language arts and English over at Southern High School, where he's teaching young people to really leverage and take advantage of the power of words as inspiration, as motivation, as a call to action to bring about change. Now working at the policy level for the agency, he's using that same approach that he learned in the creative arts to hopefully bring about change for the future of Guam. Here's my conversation with Mel about using performing arts and words for activism.
Liberty and justice, but it's really just us. Nobody know what it's like for us except us. Don't assimilate much because they don't accept us.
If there's anyone in our island community who is intimately familiar with the phrase that the pen can be mightier than the sword, it is Melvin Wonpat Borja. Mel, always good to see you, my brother.
Agumas, thanks for having me.
Okay, so, your background again, I remember interviewing you, not so long ago, but, you were doing these poetry slams and, your own style was, very, very powerful words with rhythm and with expression and creativity to really communicate like a core message about who we are and the struggle we've been through and how we need to fight. Kind of contrast that with like how your career has evolved and now you're doing so, at a higher level in policy, but the message remains the same.
Absolutely. To be honest, I never thought that I would be here in this capacity doing this work in this way. When I was doing the spoken arts education work, a lot of, at that time I was a public school teacher. And so, of course it was, and at the work that we were doing with the poets it was all nonprofit community work, but there was a lot of relevant components that belong in the classroom and were effective in the classroom. So, there's kind of a natural fit. A lot of what we did in the nonprofit arena found a way to integrate into the classroom and into my curriculum. I always imagined that I would just teach for the rest of my life. But
that vision continues, in line with, with your family, your mother and your sisters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was what was attractive to me when the position opened for the Commission on Decolonization Director. At the core of it, it's about raising awareness and educating our community because the act of self-determination has to be informed, right? This is a major decision for our people. And so, it behooves us to understand what it is that we're getting into if we are choosing to pursue statehood, choosing to pursue free association or pursue independence. And so, in that regard, I felt very motivated and excited about the prospect of being able to take, this philosophy and this pedagogy out into the community as a whole. And a lot of what I learned, a lot of my experience, both as a performer and as an educator and a facilitator is very applicable to what we do now at the Commission on Decolonization. And even that has evolved when I got the acting assignment at the Department of Tomorrow Affairs. So,
and very fittingly how we're here and we're seated here at, the place where these Latte stones were returned from Hawaii, reintroducing them, bringing them home and everything. The grammar and the vocabulary that you use now when you interface with Washington, D.C. and with ADLU, it's like that legalese, which is very required and very mandated, but it can be like a little stuffy and a little esoteric. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you still take that approach of being an entertainer.
Yes.
And, when it comes to music and when it comes to poetry, this is a language that all people speak.
We lead the pack with the facts and the worst statistics. They're making stacks off my back, so my rap's explicit.
That I got gratitude and attitude, but something's gotta give. Why we good enough to die, but not good enough to live? They be dangling the money, got you dancing like a monkey. Now you can't afford to live, just ask your neighborhood junkie.
Maybe they just tricked us into giving up our home, but our people and the culture ain't a thing that you can own.
I know just how they played us with the government and laws, make it legal to discriminate the territory clause.
But I'm an educated native, you can mess with my intelligence. We bigger than you thought, you better double check your measurements. The reason why music and poetry and literature are so impactful to our community is that at the end of the day, it's about effective communication, right? It's really persuasive language, argumentative speaking and writing. And there's, great value in individuals that have these skill sets that are, able to write well, communicate well in writing, but also communicate well in front of an audience or one-on-one with another person.
They sell you healthcare, then give you cancer. Schools don't teach, so I preach the answer. Life is a book, so write your own chapter. Write it on the wall, but just don't let them catch you. Power to the people is what I am after. I'm a free man, I don't need a master. I bring the gift of rap like I'm Santa.
Actors, writers, vloggers, YouTube channel like people and everything. How can that creative community get involved and use, their penchant for performing arts or just for expression and everything like that and really make a difference and bring about change?
Well, I think that's a fantastic question, and it's something that we're always very deliberate about because, we're a small team with a very modest operational budget. And so in order for us to truly be effective, it requires collaboration, it requires partnership, it requires buy-in. And so, what we do, my recommendation to anybody who is interested is, number one, you got to educate yourself on the issue. And that's one place that I feel confident that our era in this work has really excelled, is in developing the content and the information and the educational resources that can truly empower our community. We have definitely benefited from having people on our team that are, really excellent writers, excellent researchers, and are very effective in being able to sit down face to face with an individual, sit in front of a group of people and communicate ideas, communicate concepts, and share this perspective.
And is that not the whole purpose of activism, is
absolutely
taking the initiative?
Absolutely.
And someone who knows better than anyone in our island community about the power of words, Melvin Juanpa Bora. Mel, always a pleasure, man. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I milk the beat, I make you say leche. I am not Chicano, so don't call me essay. Free your mind and you'll find some headway.
Woo, that was deep.
GU Self Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Plines hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self Storage, voted Pica's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
Now, for a limited time, get our largest pizza at our lowest price. Just $9.99 for our classic New York-style pizza. It's 30% larger than our large, and at only $9.99 for carryout. Don't wait. Order now at your Island Pizza Hut.
For diasporic Chamorro artist Gisela McDaniel, art is more than paint on a canvas. It's a memory, voice, and lineage brought to life. Now serving as University of Guam's visiting artist in residence, she's transforming stories of Chamorro women into large-scale work that bridges generations, geography, and identity, which creates a living archive rooted in kinship and home. In a quiet studio space at the University of Guam, stories are unfolding, not just in words, but in color, texture, and sound. Large-scale portraits line the room. Visiting artist in residence Gisela McDaniel is transforming the oral histories of Chamorro women into immersive works of art through her project Kinship Roots, Painting the Living Archive. But this is not simply an exhibit. It's a collaboration, it's testimony, it's preservation. McDaniel says it's been an ongoing project.
Of recording mostly women and femme-identifying people's stories, and being on Guam and having family from Guam, I think recording our Manamku and elders that are the way women survive and the way passing down the wisdom of stories of survival and beauty and how we take care of ourselves. I think a lot of my projects are about asking stories about femininity and protecting that. A lot of my recordings, I'm recording about how we navigate as women, and wisdoms about how you protect yourself. And they're not always stories we share publicly, so I think of them as gifts to future generations. And also not just talking about, difficult things, but also celebrating wins and the things you love and the way you take care of yourself.
Each portrait carries layers, oil paint, embedded materials, personal objects, and recorded voices that activate through motion sensor technology. The women featured are not subjects on display, they are storytellers. McDaniel, a New York-based diasporic Indigenous Chamorro artist, says distance has shaped her perspective. but returning home brings a different kind of grounding. As someone who creates from the diaspora, how does it feel to be on Guam?
This is the first time I've been able to paint here, so normally I'm just taking photographs and doing research and interviewing and recording audio. And so this is the first time I've been able to paint here, and I've been using like soil and collecting all of these, of course with permission, like objects, and being able to be influenced by the colors, because I think when you're here everything is so vivid and beautiful, and it's almost like you almost can't capture it. It's always kind of moving. It almost feels like spirit more than like something that should be captured.
Her work blends fine art with audio storytelling and technology, breaking the traditional boundaries of portraiture. Viewers don't just look, they listen, they witness.
Thinking back on my whole body of work, being able to record conversations between women and kind of how we talk to each other is a really sacred and like intimate space, the way you talk to your girlfriends, and being able to share that, you know, the laughs and like the cries and, you know, the frustrations, and with people who go through similar things. And it's a really beautiful part of history that I don't think we get to see very often. And if you think about images of Pacific Islander women in general in art history or just in history, we never got to tell our own stories. And I think, you know, Chamorro women are so strong and funny and have so many talents, and I think my girlfriends are so healing to me, and my mother has been so healing to me, and you inherit their stories too, and you inherit their pains and you inherit their joys. So being able to celebrate those relationships.
During her residency, she's also been in conversation with the University of Guam students, encouraging young creatives to explore identity and narrative through their own lens.
Being at UOG and interacting with the art faculty and students has been really special. So I've never taught before, and I think it feels even more precious to me to be able to talk to students here, because for me I had a lot of really wonderful mentors, and I don't think you grow up being told that you can become an artist. Like, it's not exactly like, you're not told that's a real job, and it's not exactly, there's not a clear path on how that happens, and I think you have to see it be possible to know that it's possible for you. So it's really wonderful to be able to talk to students and let them know they can do this too.
Recognized nationally as one of Art Mag's 30 Under 30, McDaniel says visibility matters, especially for Indigenous artists whose stories are often underrepresented. What does McDaniel hope people take away from her exhibit?
I hope they recognize themselves a little bit in the work. I think it's such an honor to paint Chamorro people, and I hope that they can recognize pieces of themselves in the work, and I hope in a way that like they literally recognize parts of themselves in the work, and they also feel like they can do things like this. Again, like, I think I was really lucky to have people in my life, and my parents were always told me that I could do anything I set my mind to, and that meant a lot to me. So just knowing that they can do things, and that like this career is possible, and that they should dream big, and that our collectively as an island, that our wisdoms are really important to also what's going on in the world right now, and that our voices are really important, and that they should be heard. And art is a really amazing vehicle to send a message without being so direct sometimes too. So it's a interesting form of activism, because you can kind of be a little sneaky.
At its heart, the project is about kinship, about honoring women whose stories carry strength, survival, and continuity. Through paint, sound, and story, McDaniel is helping preserve Chamorro voices that is both powerful and personal, reminding us that our histories are not just to be remembered, but shared, lived, and carried forward.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
The new Chicken Bacon Ranch Street Chalupas at Taco Bell. You can't get just one, but like, that's not some marketing hyperbole. You literally can't get just one. They come in twos. So like, if you want just one, you're gonna need to find a friend who likes slow roasted chicken, bacon, and avocado ranch. Or a friend of a friend who loves slow roasted chicken, bacon, and avocado ranch. Or approach a complete stranger to see if they are obsessed with slow roasted chicken, bacon, and avocado ranch. Or you could just eat them both. The new Chicken Bacon Ranch Street Chalupas at Taco Bell.
Hafa, I'm Destiny Cruz-Alangas. As we continue our Culture in Action Mes Tumoru Hub coverage, we're asking a vital question. When it comes to health, how visible or invisible are the Chamorro people? And when it comes to leading that research and collecting the data, why is it so crucial that our own people are leading the charge? Tonight, I'm speaking with someone who is changing that narrative, my sister, Cassiera Cruz, as she marks history as the first Indigenous Chamorro woman in her PhD program studying Indigenous health. And while she's the first, she's determined not to be the last.
We see it in the stories we tell and in the art we create. Chamorro representation is becoming more visible. That same momentum is now reaching new heights in the field of health, where Chamorro voices are growing increasingly resonant and impactful. For Cassiera Cruz, a doctoral student in the University of North Dakota's Indigenous Health Program, she's part of a growing movement of Indigenous peoples at the forefront of this impact, working to address health disparities, inform policy and programming, and promote culturally relevant care, all to empower the communities they come from.
Indigenous health also centers the teachings, the traditional practices, the culture, the values of Indigenous communities, and it incorporates that into healthcare programming. And so in practice, that can look like creating programs or health programs that speak to the specific needs and priorities of those communities. It could also look like looking at specific health concerns and centering the Indigenous voices and perspectives so that they can be a part of those conversations and they could lead the solutions to those health issues.
The field of Indigenous health also recognizes the vital relationships that inform well-being, like the connections Indigenous peoples have to the land, air, and sea, and views health holistically through an emotional, spiritual, mental, and social lens. For Cruz, these focuses speak deeply to the Chamorro values that have shaped her, values she carries as the first ever Indigenous Chamorro in her program.
Cultural knowledge and health are intrinsically linked, and preserving cultural knowledge is vital in health because we know that medicine is not just biological. We know that it is deeply social, it's deeply personal, and culture is a form of medicine. And so when I reflect on my early learnings, I witnessed both my grandmothers care for their mothers, using their teachings, using their approaches, and combining that with the reliance on safety nets from public health programs and services. And so preserving and passing down that cultural knowledge and interweaving that into our current forms of healthcare is really important for future generations to follow.
As she continues to navigate the program, her aim is to give what she's learned back to her island and people, with hope that Chamorro voices will no longer just be growing louder, but will be ever present, heard, and undeniable.
Chamorro people, or Indigenous peoples in general, are oftentimes not well represented in health research and data. Oftentimes we are either misrepresented, underrepresented, or also erased. But there is hope. And that hope is being realized today, and even as we speak today, there are more and more Indigenous peoples taking up space and becoming health practitioners. They're becoming researchers. They're becoming policymakers.
And while she is slated to graduate as the first Chamorro woman in her program in 2028, she's making it clear she certainly will not be the last.
I really hope to just be an extension of that continuity of care that I was raised with and reciprocate what I've learned in whichever capacity that leads me to. I really hope to bring and bridge more opportunities for Indigenous health practices and approaches to be incorporated in our current healthcare systems, or even forms of care to help better meet the needs of our people. I also realized I don't have to wait to have a PhD to apply this knowledge or the different skill sets that I have learned, or live by the values that have really shaped me in my everyday life and my relationships as well. So I hope that more people, especially more Indigenous people, remember how deserving we are to exist in these spaces and spaces of the like as well.
Cruz's scholarship is supported by the government of Guam's Jesus U. Torres Technical Award, also known as ProTech. Undangkalu nasiza usma asit to my sister Cassiera for sharing why it is so crucial to have Chamorro representation in the field of health. Don't go anywhere, Culture in Action continues.
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase, but if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying, it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
For thousands of years, the Chamorro people were master navigators, crossing the Pacific by reading the stars, the wind, and the sea. But in today's classrooms, many students learn about the world without first learning about their own island. This Chamorro month, a new set of place-based textbooks hopes to change that by making Guam and Micronesia the starting point of the lesson. As an unincorporated U.S. territory, Guam's public schools must align with federal curriculum standards. But for years, that has meant textbooks rooted in mainland geography, political systems, and history. Cabrini Cruz Palomo, a project lead with the University of Guam Press's place-based textbooks, says that creates an imbalance.
When it becomes the dominant lens, our stories and our identity as Chamorro people and Micronesian people and our histories become the side note, and that's when it becomes harmful.
During early piloting of the project, she says they noticed something striking. Students could name more U.S. states than the islands in their own Micronesian region, or even the Marianas Archipelago.
We come from a beautiful culture, Chamorro culture that is arguably 4,000 years old, seafaring brilliance from across the region, and we don't really prioritize those things in school. And when your history isn't central, you ask yourself, is it not important?
She says those questions start early in elementary school when children are forming their sense of self.
We unconsciously ask ourselves, like, am I not worth learning about? Do I have to look and speak like these people in order to not only be successful, but just be an active participant in society?
She says books play a critical role in answering those questions.
Books really have, again, the power to reinforce invisibility, or they can affirm identity. And identity is so much more to us as Indigenous people. It's more than just representation, it's about grounding. And
that grounding, she says, shapes how children see themselves and their place in the world.
I've always found it fascinating that, you know, they won't ban guns, but they ban books. And it just goes to show how powerful books are. And that's because they tell us like who matters and why it matters. And when we only see like one type of person or people, we just kind of internalize that as that's the default.
That belief is at the core of UOG Press's place-based textbook initiative, a project that began in 2019 and faced delays from the COVID-19 pandemic and Typhoon Mawar. Since 2021, the curriculum has been piloted at 8 schools, including Chief Harao Academy, MU Lujan, Liguan, Price, Carbolito, Maria Ulloa, Astumbo, and Marshall Sablan Elementary. Next school year, the textbooks will roll out to all GDOE elementary schools and Chief Harao.
So our place-based textbooks center Guam and Micronesia as the starting point and not the footnote. So we still meet the standards. We teach the civic systems, history, geography, but we do it all through our context.
She says that means students learn governance by examining Guam's political status. They learn geography through the islands of Micronesia, and they learn about through European 4,000-year season brilliance. Lomo, a member of a younger generation of Indigenous students.
I come from a generation where, we were taught to succeed in American systems, but we're also the grandchildren of people who still remember what it was like to be punished to speak your language in schools, and it feels very full circle.
She calls the project one of the most urgent efforts of her lifetime.
I really commend GDOE and UOG Press for taking this on, because it is, in my opinion, one of the greatest acts of decolonization that our island has ever taken.
Palomo is also a children's book author. Her recently published book, The Great Pescadot, draws from local stories and memory.
Just as an Indigenous artist, there's a responsibility to always create from a place of honesty. And when that happens, we normalize our people, but we also archive our people, and most of all, we celebrate our people.
Now a mother-to-be, her purpose has only deepened.
An even greater why, because my literal child this will greatly affect them.
And she hopes the community understands this isn't just a curriculum change, but what she calls a movement to inspire the next generation.
Just to share something that my friend Carrie Borja always says, she always says, educate to liberate, and I think that is so true.
As Cabrini says, books tell us who matters, and as these new textbooks roll out next school year, the hope is that every child who opens one will see their island and know that they belong. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama. Thank you so much for watching The Hub, where America's stories begin.